jungle.
Fellow Ambazonians, this is a critical moment in the struggle for the actualization of our independence. Within 1 year, though the international powers that be are yet to directly endorse our new country, international organizations and houses of parliament around the world are beginning to conduct heated debates on our case, actually making recommendations and exerting real pressure on the regime in French Cameroon to end its war against us. The magnitude of international pressure is such that the question on the balance before French Cameroon isn't whether or not to end the war. Rather, it is how to end the war. From the onset, you will remember, Yaoundé was opposed to AAC3 taking place in Boya. Doesn't it surprise you now they are all for it, to the extent that Paul Atanganji will be invited to sit in its planning meetings? Owing to mounting international pressure, Yaoundé is looking for a way to end the conflict and so has now endorsed the AAC3, and they want to pass through it to use some among us, some traitors among us, to push an agenda, a federal agenda, which is entirely different from what the overwhelming majority of us have endorsed, which is the restoration of our country, the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. Fellow Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen, situations like this call for hard decisions, decisions whose only goal is to preserve the integrity and an uncompromised mission and direction for the revolution. The 5 days ghost town we have announced is meant to accomplish just that. Some people have, however, asked for the wisdom behind a 5-day ghost town when it could have been announced just for the days the AAC3 is supposed to hold. They have also asked why the ghost town have been extended to other parts of Ambazonia when the event is scheduled for Boya only. The answers to these two questions are simple. When an event such as the AAC3 conference is planned, participants do not arrive. Again, participants never arrive on the day of the event. Participants normally would arrive a day or two before the date of the actual event. We asked for a lockdown beginning November the 19th, just so that participants do not have to think they can outsmart us and get to Boya before the 21st, when the conference is scheduled to start. And we decided to extend the lockdown to the rest of Ambazonia so that organizers do not try the first one by simply moving the venue into another city or town anywhere other than Boya. It makes a lot of sense to tighten all the chances they think they may want to use to force that AAC3 on all of us. This is exactly the wisdom behind the 5-day nationwide lockdown. Dr. Munzu is reported to have pulled out of the conference on the excuses that his life is under danger and that the interim government invoked a lockdown because of his influence in the convening of the conference. None of the excuses he puts out there are correct And besides, we do not for a moment believe that Dr. Munzu is out of the picture. But whether or not he is in or out, does it really matter? Absolutely not. Nobody is threatening Dr. Munzu. He has a right to an opinion. But what he doesn't have is the right to force that opinion on all of us who said on October 1st, 2017, and of course, October 1st, 2018, that we want back our own country. No, we didn't ban AAC3 because of his participation. We banned it because the conditions we gave them for it to happen, none of them have been fulfilled. We asked that for the interim government to participate, federalism must be taken off the table or agenda. That only Ambazonians, not a select few, have the right to decide exactly what form of state they want. We also asked that our leaders have to be released from the dungeons of La République du Cameroon, and that French Cameroon soldiers be withdrawn from our streets, and of course also that the conference hold at a neutral location, different other than Boya or Cameroon. None of these conditions have been met. Therefore, the reason we have banned the AAC3, that's the reason we have declared a total lockdown beginning November the 19th through the 23rd. And to you on ground zero, most especially the business community, we are aware of the hardships you go through, and we will not want you to go through it any more than you can handle. But you will agree with us that trying moments such as this call for drastic decisions, and such decisions always would have to come with sacrifices. We are appealing to you to stand with us, to stand with this ghost town decision. After all, this one too, like the November 7 election lockdown, shall come to pass, and the direction and integrity of our revolution would have prevailed. Let's all rise up like one man, like we did in the election boycott, and say no to AAC3 in Boya. We do not need any meeting whose agenda is to discuss any form of government, because we have already decided on what form of government we want. We made it clear on October 1st, 2017, and of course October 1st, 2018. And of course, remember the reason we boycotted their elections? AAC3 is being sponsored by the regime in Yaoundé. Remember, Ekema Patrick was first against it before now standing for it. Why? Because Yaoundé is behind it. Ekema is now fully behind it. Let's stop it. Let's stop them. Having declared our sovereignty, let's once more demonstrate to the world that for sure we have full control and full authority over what holds and doesn't hold in our territory. Thank you, and God bless.